Things Not Seen by Andrew Clements. A first chapter Friday read aloud video with the Word Nerd. Today, as you listen, play along. Watch for the story quote that will appear on screen. Write it down word by word and then follow the instructions given to you by your teacher. Make sure you stay all the way to the end to see if you've written it down correctly. Hi, my name is Amanda Zieba. Welcome to my channel, Learning with the Word Nerd, and another First Chapter Friday video. This week, I'm going to be reading to you from Things Not Seen by Andrew Clements. And while I didn't get a chance to interview Andrew for this video, I do have something really unique that I want to share with you after Chapter 1, so make sure you stick around for that. Let me read you the back of the book so you know what it's about, and then we will dive into Chapter 1. Bobby Phillips is your average 15-year-old boy. That is, until he wakes up one morning and he can't see himself in the mirror. Not blind, not dreaming. Bobby is just plain invisible. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason for Bobby's new condition, or even his dad, the physicist, can figure out. For Bobby, that means no school, no friends, no life. He is a missing person. Then he meets Alicia. She's blind, and Bobby can't resist talking to her, trusting her. But people are starting to wonder, where is Bobby, and is he even still alive? Bobby knows that his invisibility could have dangerous consequences for his family and that time is running out. He has to find out how to be seen again before it's too late. I know sometimes when we're playing like that superhero game, like what do you want your superpower to be? And like a lot of people pick invisibility. And that's what happens for real to this character. And it is a book that has stuck with me for years after I have finished reading it, and I am so excited for you to experience it. So let's dive into Things Not Seen by Andrew Clements, Chapter 1. It's a Tuesday morning in February, and I get up as usual, and I stumble to the bathroom to take a shower in the dark, which is my school day method because it's sort of like an extra 10 minutes of sleep. It's after the shower, that's when it happens. It's when I turn on the bathroom light and wipe the fog off the mirror to comb my hair. It's what I see in the mirror. It's what I don't see. I look a second time and then rub at the mirror again. I'm not there. That's what I'm saying. I'm not there. I feel kind of dizzy, so I make my way back to the bed because if I'm dreaming, bed is a place, right? And I wait to wake up, but I don't because I already am. I feel my heart pounding in my chest, my breath comes fast, and my mouth is dry. I lift my head off the pillow and see my shape on the bed. It's right there, under the covers. Then I pull off the electric blanket and the sheet. Nothing. So I go back to the bathroom, to the big mirror, and I'm still not there. The mirror is the mirror and it's on the wall, and I'm not there in front of it. I think I am. I mean, I see the mirror. I see my towel wave through the air. I see the shower curtain jump when I punch at it, but I don't see me. So I panic. I wrap the towel around my waist and I go to tell my mom and dad, which is not like me. I don't tell them much. I mean, they're okay in small doses and they can be useful. Them knowing what I'm up to usually makes them less useful. But they are smart. I give them that much. And this looks like a problem where smarts might count. So I'm headed for the kitchen. I know they'll both be there because this is a work day, a school day, and on such a day in the Phillips house, eggs and toast hit the heat at 7:15. Always. I go down the hall to the stairs and I stop. I'm scared of the stairs. Normally, I have good hand-eye coordination. I don't dork out, don't drop my tray in the cafeteria, don't trip on the stairs, nothing like that. But there's a problem this morning. No hands, no arms, no legs, no feet. I feel them, but I can't see them. I hang onto the banister and feel my way down like a 3-year-old. Then I'm in the kitchen doorway, my feet cold on the tile floor. Dad scrambles the eggs, Mom reads the paper, and I say, "Guys, I can't see myself." They glance at the door to the dining room, and Dad says, "Well, come on in here and let's see what's the matter." And I say, "But that's what's the matter. I'm in here. I can't see myself. You can't see me. I can't be seen. Like, I'm invisible." Mom looks at Dad and she smiles that kids kind of smile that I hate and then looks back to her paper. She turns on her voice of authority. "Stop messing around now, Bob. You've only got 20 minutes before your bus. Disconnect the microphone or the walkie-talkie or whatever it is you're playing with. Come hang up this wet towel and get in here and eat. Now." Meet Professor Mom, also known as the director. Her motto is, "When in doubt, give an order." She's used to the timid little freshmen in her lecture classes at the University of Chicago. She expects young people to jump when she barks at them. I've been accused I'm messing around, goofing off, again. So I pull out my chair, sit on it, grab my orange juice, glug it down, and thump the glass down on the placemat. And now I've got their attention. Completely. Dad stops stirring eggs and stares at my empty glass. Mom leans so far forward that she spills her own juice and it drips into her lap. She doesn't notice. Dad says, "This is a trick, right? Do something else." So I pick up my spoon, lick it, and hang it on my nose. A pretty good trick even when your nose looks like it's there. The spoon hangs in midair. "Bobby?" Mom's voice is squeaky. "Bobby, stop this." Another order. "I'm not doing anything, Mom. It's just happening." The spoon drops and jangles on the floor. It's a ceramic floor in an old Victorian kitchen in Chicago in February, and I'm sitting on an oak chair wearing a damp towel. I'm freezing. Dad turns off the heat under the eggs. Have you ever had the science of exactly what happens during the process of making scrambled eggs explained to you in great detail? I have. About 10 times. Dad stands there with the wooden spoon in one hand, frying pan in the other. The look on his face says, "Perplexed physicist at work. I'm expecting a theory any second," and Dad delivers. "Hey," he says, "since we can't all be dreaming this, we must be looking at some kind of visible light anomaly. I've read the research on this kind of thing. I mean the research on the mathematical theories, but this is a phenomenon. This is an event." Such a useful observation, Dad. The guy can't help being Joe Physics. It's what he does. He works at Fermilab. That's one of those places where they smash atoms and then take pictures of the bits. Life is one big science experiment for Dad. Dad's been waving the spoon around as he talks, and egg boogers are all over the place. Mom tries to talk again, but all we get is more squeaks, and I'm starting to wonder when the smarts are going to kick in. Dad gets it back under control almost right away. He mops up Mom's juice, serves up 3 plates, and sits down. Dad and I start to eat, but instantly he stops chewing. He watches as I float forkfuls of rubbery eggs up to my mouth. So does Mom. And I'm watching too. It's a good show. Bobby and his disappearing breakfast, now appearing on the big screen of life in the kitchen of the weird. Mom's hand starts reaching for where she figures my arm will be. She's off by about a foot, so I lean forward to help out. When her hand hits flesh, she freaks out like she's grabbed onto a lizard. Oh God, it's Bobby, it's him, he's there, he's not, oh God, David, do something. Let's call Dr. Weston or somebody else, a specialist. But I don't say, so I'm thinking, oh yeah, great, yeah, let's call one of those invisible teenager specialists. I'll get the yellow pages. But I don't say that. I say, "Mom, come on, pull it together. I'm not sick or anything. I'm okay. See, I'm eating a healthy breakfast to help build strong bodies. 12 ways. Really, Mom. I'm okay." I reach over and I pat her hand. She jumps again, but then grabs hold of my hand with both of her. She squeezes so hard I can feel my bones turning to tuna salad. She's kind of rocking back and forth in her chair, trying to get her breathing to slow down. She doesn't know where to look. Her eyes are darting all over where I'm sitting, but then she focuses in on the captive hand, that blank space between her two hands that feels like her only child, her little baby Bobby, her life's big disappointment. It's Dad again. He's clearing his throat. That means he knows something we don't, and he wants to be sure that we're listening carefully. "Emily, now think. We can't tell a soul about this, not one person. Not your parents, not Dr. Weston, not Margie or Lewis, not anyone. Imagine what would happen if news of this, whatever this is, got out into the public. We'd have every reporter and every camera in the world on our front step in a half an hour, and the government? I know the government. They'd be here in 10 minutes after the story broke to take Bobby somewhere safe. You think the CIA and the Joint Chiefs wouldn't be interested in this? I can tell you without a doubt they would. So we tell no one." He stops to let that sink in. When there's a family crisis or something bad happening, usually you get to call for outside help. When Bobby gets caught shoplifting, you call your lawyer. When Mom drops her ring down the drain, you call a plumber. Dad spills a charcoal grill onto the deck, you call the fire department. But if your kid dissolves into the shower one morning, who do you call? No one. Dad's got it right. This has to stay in-house. Then Dad crams some phony cheer into his voice and says, "Hey, who knows? Everything could be back to normal in a half an hour, but no matter what, we tell no one." Agreed? Mom slowly nods her head, yes, and so do I. Dad looks in my direction and says, "And you agree too, Bobby?" And then I realize that Dad can't see me nodding. I say, "Absolutely, my invisible lips are sealed." And then I say, "But Mom's got a good point. Even if we can't tell anyone, don't we have to do something?" Dad again, "Do? Well, first we have to think. Things that are impossible never happen. Everything that happens has a law behind it. I mean, there's only cause and effect, right? We are looking at an effect, so there must be a cause. We find the cause, we reverse it, and that eliminates the effect." Joe Physics again. It's the look on Mom's face that makes me talk back to Dad because she isn't buying his little science speech either. So I say, "Yeah, that sounds great, Dad, but that still doesn't answer the question, which is, what do I do? Like right now, like all day today and tomorrow and maybe next week. This isn't some physics lab, Dad. This is me. Why don't you just admit that the truth is you have no idea what we should do?" That brings Mom back to life. Now listen here, young man. It never fails. Whenever I screw up or mouth off, I miraculously become a young man. Mom keeps talking. "Your father and I have always been good parents, and we're not going to stop being good parents just because of some special problem. So mind your manners and keep a civil tongue in your head, and we'll do everything we can. You know that." Dad is nodding along, and he says, "Of course we will, Bobby. Now just everyone calm down. What we need to do most of all is think carefully. There's no such thing as a problem that can't be solved or a process that can't be explained. It just takes clear thinking." And by that, of course, Dad means his thinking. They're both talking loud, and yesterday I would have just shut up or said, "I'm sorry" or something, but it's amazing how brave you feel when the people who have run your life for 15 years suddenly can't see the disgusted look on your face. I stand up so fast that my chair tips backward and with a big bang. I yank the towel from around my waist and throw it onto the table. "Well, how about this?" I'm shouting. "How about if I just disappear for a while? You two go ahead and do all the clear thinking you want to do. I'll just drop out of sight, lay low a little, and then I'll let you know what I've been thinking." I take 3 silent steps backward and stand near the doorway by the telephone. 5, 6, 7, 10 seconds. "Bobby?" Mama's on her feet looking at where I used to be, but she can sense that I'm not there. "Bobby, you stopped at this instant." Now she's panicked. She's figured out that I could be out the door and on a bus by now. She's looking every which way, wringing her hands and biting her lower lip, and then yelling, "Bobby, Bobby!" And Dad is just sitting, palms flat on the table, staring at the floor, shaking his head. It's the logic again. Dad sees right away that I have all the power, and so he's not wasting any energy. But then come the tears. Mom slumps down in her chair and she starts crying, and I can't take that. I can never take that. I have to fold. So I say real quiet, like, "All right, all right. I'm right over here, but remember, I'm the one with the problem here, not you." Because that's what they do. Both of them. Like, if I get in trouble at school, suddenly they're the ones on trial and they have to figure it out what they have to do. And it's always about them. Mom's mad, but mostly relieved. "Robert, that was just mean. It's not fair to hide that way. Promise me, Robert, that you'll never do that again." And now I'm not the young man, I'm Robert. And I'm doing this to her. But I promise, with my invisible fingers crossed, of course. And then I say, "But guys, do you get what I mean? I mean, like, this isn't just some phenomenon, and it's not like I've got the chicken pox or the flu or something. This is completely different, and it's happening to me, and it means that I can't do anything like I did it yesterday. And so that's what I'm saying. What do I do?" And now I've got myself scared too, because it's true. Horribly true. Here I am, standing here with my feet cramping up on the cold floor, imagining the rest of my life as the ultimate weirdo. Like I can't go anywhere. Clothes are supposed to have a body inside them, and mine is missing. I could go out naked, but that's not something sane people do anytime in Chicago, and especially not in February. School? Gone. Off the air. Not that I care much. It's the U of C lab school where the professors and the local geniuses and all the rest of the university creeps send their kids. It's supposed to be so great. Better than Francis Parkman, better than North Shore County Day, blah, blah, blah. Most of the time I can barely tolerate it, except for the libraries and jazz band. I mean, it's not like I'm some psycho loner or anything. I've got friends, kids I eat lunch with, stuff like that, but I'm just not a private I'm just not a private school kind of kid. I go there because my family moved here 6 years ago. Plus, my mom teaches at the university, so tuition is cheap. Maybe my school's a great place if you're a show off genius or a soccer god or something, but if you're me, it's just school. But that's over, at least for today. I stand there in the kitchen naked and shivering, and I look at mom and dad still sitting at the table. They're stumped. I've never seen them this way. And that might be the scariest thing of all. With parents like mine, you get used to having them tell you what to do next, but I can see they don't have a clue. Not about this. And suddenly I think, why did I ever believe they had all the answers for me anyway? I mean, they do know a lot of semi interesting stuff. Mom knows politics and history and English literature inside out, and dad's a certified brainiac. So he knows tons, and that's fine for them. But all that's got nothing to do with me. Not right now. So I look at them sitting there and I say, I'll be up in my room. I've got to figure out what to do. And it's true. I've got to figure it out. Because what's happening right now, this is about me. Oh, you guys, oh my God, how can you not want to keep reading after that first chapter? This book is so great. So many like unique twists and turns. If you've ever wished to be invisible, and even if you haven't, you have to read this book. So the thing I wanted to share with you, sorry, itchy nose. The thing I wanted to share with you is a letter in the front from Andrew Clements to the reader. And it's not an interview, but it's probably like the next best thing. Okay. So he says, Dear reader, I know a lot of people know that Frindle was my first novel for children. But almost no one knows that Things Not Seen was my second novel. Side note, Frindle is on this channel. I'll link it below so you can listen to that one as well. The first draft of Things Not Seen was finished in the summer of 1996, and to be fair, the editors who rejected that manuscript, my earliest attempt to tell the story of an invisible boy, was all over the map. In the original story, there were subplots galore. There were gangsters and car chases and airplane trips and encounters with vicious dogs and large chunks of frantic action in at least 3 different parts of the country. Looking back over that first draft, I think I was simply excited to have learned from Frindle that yes, I could actually write a novel. Apparently, that feeling of discovered ability went right to my head. After Things Not Seen had been roundly rejected, I got involved with writing more middle grade novels. The Landry News, The Janitor's Boy, The School Story, one of my favorites, and many others, but I never gave up on the core idea of Things Not Seen. I still wanted to tell a story that treated invisibility as if it were a factually happening event to a fairly normal 15-year-old kid. And the interaction between the invisible boy Bobby and the blind girl Alicia was what I found the most interesting. So in the year 2000, I again sent that flawed manuscript to the publishers of Frindle, and they again urged me to keep writing middle grade novels that had been so successful. I then sent the manuscript to Patty Gouch at Phillips Books, an editor I'd known for many years. Patty agreed with me that the quirky heart of the novel, the relationship between an invisible boy and a blind girl, was worth exploring. Then she warned me that there was hard work ahead. She did not lie. Patty helped me cut away the excess plot lines, taught me to see a truer story arc, and I learned how to make events flow from thoughts and feelings and needs of the characters, how to make a plot grow from the inside out. The results of that intense rewriting process have been so satisfying. Things Not Seen was published in 2002. It was reviewed well, it sold well, and among all my other books, it is a novel that has drawn some of the most ardent letters from kids and teachers and parents. I am especially grateful that Things Not Seen won the very first ALA Schneider Family Book Award in 2004, an honor given to a book that embodies an artistic expression of the disability experience for children and adolescent audiences, which is an example of the law of unintended consequences, as well as a tribute to the strength of Alicia's character. I want to thank each reader, and I hope to keep writing stories that are worth your time and thought. Sincerely yours, Andrew Clements. So, Things Not Seen, pick it up. School library, classroom library, favorite local indie bookstore, or I'll put an Amazon link down there if you can't find it anywhere else. I hope that you will enjoy this book. I'm so grateful you joined me here on this channel today. Come back again for more First Chapter Friday videos, and I'll see you again next time. Happy reading. To continue reading Things Not Seen by Andrew Clements, pick up a copy from your school library, purchase one from your favorite local indie bookstore, or grab it via the link in the video description box. This week's mystery quote says, "Fear doesn't need doors and windows. It works from the inside." Before you go, check out the rest of the First Chapter Friday playlist. I've got almost 200 middle grade and young adult novels, read alouds of their first chapters ready and waiting for you. If you're not quite sure what to read next, don't worry, I've got you covered with plenty of suggestions. Thanks so much for visiting my channel, Learning with the Word Nerd. I hope you come back again for more First Chapter Friday videos, brain breaks, direct teaching instruction videos, and more. I'll see you again next time. Happy reading.